there are actual affordable housing units out there that is affordable and continues to be affordable as you live in them. They're not just affordable for 1 month.
I'm gonna get 2 good burgers and 2 good shakes, please.
What's going on, VIPs? Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. And on today's video, I'm going to talk about how to find affordable housing in Los Angeles. I feel like that word gets thrown around a lot when really you're just finding a good deal or a discount temporarily. But no, there are actual affordable housing units out there that is affordable and continues to be affordable as you live in them. They're not just affordable for 1 month. You're not just getting a 1 month discounted rate, or your first year is a discount and that's that. The rent goes up to $3,000 a month. No, I'm talking about actual affordable housing that's consistent. What made me decide to do this video was some of you have been reaching out to me on Instagram. You guys checked out my room transformation makeover video. And also, I posted an old video too about my room. I think I shared a little bit about my apartment. I don't want to, of course, reveal my whole apartment. I ain't trying to have y'all up in my business like that now. But some of you have reached out to me and was like, hey, where do you live? I love your apartment. I love the format. I love your style of your apartment. Like, where do you live? How did you find it? Can you tell me more about it? So that is what encouraged the video. So I'm first going to tell you my story, how I found my apartment here in Los Angeles 5 years ago. And then I'm also going to dive into actually finding affordable apartments. So stick around. This video is going to be great for everyone who needs the tools to find affordable housing in Los Angeles before you move out here. I know that's going to be very helpful. I wish someone did a video like this before I moved down here because it would have helped me tremendously. Although I didn't really struggle a lot, thankfully. I didn't really struggle a lot as far as finding a place. I kind of got fit in very swiftly. So I moved to Los Angeles 5 years ago, 2014. It doesn't seem like it's been that long. So when I first got here, I went to a hostel. I went to this hostel. This hostel I've stayed at before when I've come here to visit. I've visited LA, I think maybe 3 times before I actually moved here. And so I stayed at the same hostel maybe twice before. 2 of those 3 times I visited LA, I stayed in a hostel. So I already knew where I was gonna stay like for a couple of days or whatever. You guys, I packed my bags from Nashville, had a little money saved up, and I just moved out here. I didn't think about where I was gonna stay. I didn't apply to any apartments. I didn't do none of that. I just knew I just wanted to be here, okay? And that is what's most important, just being here. A lot of people get caught up and a lot of people get stuck. A lot of people don't actually move and do what they want to do because they let things get in their way. And I didn't want that to get in my way. I didn't want me having an official apartment to get in my way. I knew that there had to be something out there that I could stay at or someone I could crash with or something while I'm just getting adjusted. So my brain worked a little differently on that ends of things. I kind of wish it still operated that way. It kind of has drifted from that. I wish I was spontaneous now as I was back then, because now I'm so safe. I'm just so safe. But I'm working on it, okay? But back then I just moved. I just packed my stuff. Most of my stuff I left at home. I left it at a family member's house, and I packed the things that I really, really needed. I packed those and brought those with me. And I just had like 1 suitcase, and that was it. 1 suitcase and all of my important things. I was very minimal when I did it. So I stayed in the hostel for literally, you guys, 2 nights before I found a place to stay for a while. So when I got here to LA, immediately I hit the ground running. I was online looking for a place to stay temporarily until I found something more stable. So I found out, I went on Craigslist. Craigslist will save your life, people. Craigslist, I looked on Craigslist and I found a house that someone was renting out their rooms in their house. And so the ad said something about that hey, everyone here we're all starving artists. We're all aspiring to be in the entertainment industry here in Los Angeles. The house was a big house. It had like, I want to say 5 or 6 bedrooms in it. Okay, it was a big house, and each bedroom had like, I want to say 3 bunk beds. Okay, so it was something like if you had told me I would have done something like that 6 years ago, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. Because before I moved to Los Angeles, I had my own apartment, and I was doing fine. I was fresh out of college. I had my own apartment, and you wouldn't dare tell me that I would move somewhere and be bunk bedding with a whole bunch of people. That I would have looked at you like you were crazy, smelled you like you were silly, and everything else in between. But I did it because I had to make that sacrifice, because I knew I wanted to be in Los Angeles. I wanted to be here that bad. So I moved in. I was there for 3 months. Met some great people. It was really fun, honestly. It was fun meeting all those new people. It was predominantly a male household. There was a lot of guys in there. It wasn't females in there. It was just all guys. The rent was so cheap. The rent was like $300 a month, y'all. $300 for rent. Come on now. The guy who owned the house, of course, you already knew he was making a killing off us. Like 3 bunk beds per bedroom, $300 per person. Come on, you do the math. That's a lot of money. So I ended up making a really good friend there. We vibed really cool, got along really great. And then about 3 months in, the landlord said, hey guys, I'm actually gonna be remodeling my house. So I gotta give you guys the boot. So he gave us a 30-day notice. And so everybody was like hitting the ground trying to find a place to stay. Some people, they either moved in with friends, moved into another similar situation, or they found their own place. I don't think a lot of people really found their own place. I think me and my friend, we were like one of the very few people who found an actual apartment. So we found the apartment that I'm in right now, okay? And we moved in. I don't know how the hell we did it, because the fucking rent, oh my gosh. Like, when you're used to paying a certain amount back in Nashville, because that's where I'm from, and then you come to LA and you look at the rent, you're just like, what? It's like mind-boggling. I look back and I'm like, how did we do that? Because we barely were getting by. We honestly were barely getting by. I had one job that wasn't paying much. My friend, I don't remember where he was working, but we both were struggling, okay? We didn't really have much to our name at all, so I don't even know how we did it, because our security deposit at the time was like $1,200, and the rent was the same, and it's just like, oh my God, you know what I mean? How did we do that? We divided it down the middle, of course, and we did it that way. But man, it's just crazy how we did it. I look back and I'm just like, man, how did we do it? Because we barely were working. The jobs we had, we weren't getting much hours. So it's just like, how did we do that? You know? But everything happens for a reason, you know? God's timing was everything. So, make a long story short, we moved into the apartment, and we moved into a 2-bedroom apartment. Not far from downtown LA at all. And my friend that moved in with me originally, he didn't stay here long. He left, I want to say, after about 6 or 7 months, he left and he moved back home. It just wasn't working out for him. Plus, we weren't getting along. He actually moved out, didn't even tell me he moved out, and didn't pay his rent, didn't pay any of his half of the bills. It was a mess, you guys. It was really a mess. I had to take him to small claims court, because I was just like, like, you ain't finna just dip and not pay your rent and just leave me with the bill. Oh, hell no. So I actually flew to where he moved. He moved back home. He's from, I think, Cleveland, Ohio, or something like that. I actually had to sue him in his state where he was located. I flew there to sue him in small claims court, you guys. I won the settlement. He ain't paid a dime. Forgiveness, you guys, is super important. For a long time, I was mad at him. For a long time, I wanted to just get back at him so bad. But eventually, as time goes on, you guys, you know, you mature, you grow up, and you learn to forgive, you know. Now, would I roommate with him again? Hell no. Would I befriend him again? Hell no. No. I know better. But there's nothing wrong with being civil. There's nothing wrong with communicating. There's nothing wrong with saying hi and bye if you see him on the street. Him moving out, you guys, was a blessing. It all worked out for me. It all worked out. As crazy as the situation was with him leaving, not paying his bills, not telling me he moved out, As crazy as that whole situation was, it ended up working out. It was a blessing in disguise, honestly, because now the apartment is in my name. My landlord is so cool, you guys. My landlord is, he is the coolest landlord ever. I will admit sometimes me and him are like, he doesn't respond as quickly as I would like on maintenance issues that I have. But overall, my landlord is a great guy. He lets me sublet my room, my second bedroom. He lets me sublet it out. It's great. It ended up working out so great. I've had several roommates since my original friend/roommate was here. So it ended up working just great. I have the master bedroom of the apartment. It's the biggest bedroom. And my second bedroom, it's like across the hall from me. The beautiful thing about my apartment, you guys, is that I have 2 doors. So I have a front door, and then I have a door in my room that goes out into the hallway of the apartment building. So we both have our own private entryways, and that is a selling point. Every time I post my apartment online to get a roommate, it quickly goes like that, because that's a seller. Everyone loves their own private entryway, you know what I mean? It's a full kitchen. It's great. I love the floor plan. His room, my roommate's room is on the other end of the apartment. Like, we literally don't even have to look at each other. We don't even have to see each other. And so you get that privacy. It's almost as if you live by yourself. And I love that about my apartment. And that's why I've been here for so long, and I'm not going nowhere, honey. And they're gonna have to tear this building down for me to leave, because I ain't going nowhere, okay? I will admit, sometimes I'm just like, I'm ready to go. I need a new environment. I need new scenery. But when I think about it, I'm just like, Vernon, you got a really good deal here for Los Angeles, and you've got a lot of space for the amount that you pay. So you've got a good thing going. You've got a good system going, so you need to stick with it. So I've been here ever since, and I bet you guys are wondering how I found my place. So I found my place, guess what? On Craigslist. I found my place on Craigslist. I literally remember being on the computer when me and my original roommate were trying to look for a place. I remember being on the computer, looking on Craigslist, seeing this place, and I was like, oh, this seems like a pretty cool idea. I ran it across my friend. We met up with the landlord, we saw the place, and the rest is history, you guys. I love my apartment. It's the best. I'm literally 10 minutes from downtown LA, from all the action, from all the stuff that's happening. You know, downtown LA recently has become a hot spot. It's become very popular in recent years to be in downtown LA. It used to be back in the 90s where it wasn't so popular to be in downtown LA, but now they're building so many high rises and they're doing so much gentrification in downtown Los Angeles. It's considered hip to be in downtown Los Angeles. So downtown Los Angeles is a very up and coming area. It's really nice. I love the energy there. I love the energy that I get when I'm going through there, when I'm passing through there, driving through there. I just love that area. And so it's really nice to have that close enough access to. I can see the skyscraper from my bedroom window. But yeah, so that's my story about moving into my apartment. I already told you how much the rent was back when I moved in. So my rent has since went up, but not crazy, because I live in a building that's considered rent controlled. And here in Los Angeles, if you happen to be in a building that's rent controlled, it just means that the landlord can only go up 3 to 4%. I think now it's gone to 4%. For the longest, it was 3%. Now it's gone to 4%. So your landlord, if you're in a rent controlled building, the landlord can only go up 4% every year if they decide to. Not, they can't skyrocket and go up $500, $600. They can only go up 4%, which is great, because you can be somewhere for 10 years and not even pay nowhere near what the average rent is for a 2-bedroom apartment or whatever you have. And that's the beautiful thing about my building. That's why I've been here for so long. It's really difficult to leave and go pay higher rent for a smaller space. That's stupid. I don't know who would be dumb enough to do that. I've got a lot of space and I pay low end rent. Rent control just basically just offsets all the high rent here. And it's not Section 8, it's not, low income housing, it's not that. Though nothing wrong with those things. Nothing wrong with Section 8, nothing wrong with low income housing, nothing wrong with that, okay? I'm just telling you, it's separate from that. It's 3 different things. Rent control is totally different from Section 8. Section 8 is totally different from low income housing. 3 totally different things, because you can make $100,000 a year or $1 million a year, and you can be in a rent control building and nobody can deny you, because you're renting a regular building. Nobody can deny you. If you can afford it, you can afford it. That's the bottom line. So that's the good thing about being in a rent control building. You can make however much you want to make, and you can still be here. When it comes to Section 8 and low-income housing, however, there's an income cap. You have to make under a certain amount or they will deny you. If you're making too much, like, why are you applying here? You make too much money. With the rent control building, no, nobody's going to deny you because you make X amount, because this is a regular apartment building, and if you can make whatever you want to make. So that's the benefit of rent control. So make sure you research rent control, but you don't even have to research nothing, you guys, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you all the links, everything you need, so you can be tip-top shape before you move to Los Angeles, so you have all your ducks in a row. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. So let's talk about, you guys, how to access affordable housing in Los Angeles. Now again, I'm not talking about just affordable housing for the first month you move into some joint. I'm not talking about some affordable housing that you get just for a year, a discount on, no. I'm talking about consistent, affordable housing. 2 websites I want you guys to write down. Actually, I'm gonna put them in the description below. But one of those is housing.lacity.org. So housing.lacity.org is a website. Basically, it's gonna have a list of all these apartments that are affordable, okay? And it'll tell you all the things you need to do to prepare to apply for them. Basically, it can be as simple as you guys just calling around. You just have to call around, ask if they have a waiting list. Some of them will have a waiting list. Some of them will have vacancies. You just never know. You just have to call around and do your research, okay? Sometimes there's a lot of red tape involved, but you know, if that's what it takes for you to find an affordable place, do what you gotta do, okay? You just gotta have that mentality, you know? The second website I want you guys to write down or click below is HUD.gov. Now, HUD is basically, it's through the state. It's available at in any state, actually. So when you go to the website, you're gonna click on the tab "What We Do," and then you're gonna click on there, search for an apartment, and then it's gonna pop up a map of the U.S. Okay, and then you allow it to use your location if you want. And then what you can do is you can type in your zip code, or you're gonna click find affordable housing. You're gonna click that first, and then you're going to type in your zip code or however it finds you, and then it's literally gonna pop up all these places that are available for you to rent. They either have a waiting list available, or they all fall under HUD. Okay, it doesn't mean all of them have vacancies. It doesn't mean all of them have an open waiting list. It just means that they are affordable housing units, okay? So you have to call around, ask around, do your research. So just look for the neighborhood that you want to live in, that you want to scope out. Google search the address, see what the street looks like, see what the neighborhood looks like. Do all this stuff just so you can see what it would be like for you living there. And that's it. It's as simple as that, you guys. Also, look at Craigslist. Look at Craigslist like a hounding dog, because you just never know what type of deals you'll run into. I found a great deal on Craigslist. I still can't believe I found this on Craigslist. It's what I'm paying, you guys, is a steal. What I'm paying is a steal, okay? 2 main tips that you want to do before you start looking for an apartment. Number 1, go ahead and have your money saved up. Go ahead and estimate how much you want to save up for your apartment. And the reason I say this is because you don't want to be scrambling like I did, like me and my roommate did you don't want to be scrambling for checks. You don't want to be scrambling for your money just to move in, just to pay your security deposit. You don't want to do that. That is not a good thing. Go ahead and have your money saved up. I want to go ahead and just look around, look to see what the medium or average prices are in the area that you want to stay in. And then go ahead and come up with a figure based off what you can afford, okay? And go ahead and just save that up. Just don't think about anything else. Don't worry about nothing else. Don't worry about looking for an apartment. Focus on saving up your money so you can move, okay? Because you just don't want to be in a situation where you're scrambling at the last minute for your security deposit, first month's rent. It's just, it's hectic, okay? It's not fun. It is not fun at all. Because somebody else can beat you to the apartment that you want, and they get it before you, and then, you know what I mean? But the good thing is that, of course, you know, you can still look and you still have your money saved up. The reason why I emphasize on that is because here in Los Angeles, finding an apartment is an art here, because so many people are moving in and out of Los Angeles every day. It's ridiculous, okay? They call it the transient state or transient city of LA. Transit just means people are constantly moving in, out, in, out, in, out. Nobody stays here permanently. Nobody barely is from Los Angeles anymore. Everybody is from somewhere else. So what you want to do is already have your money saved up, okay? And you want to start looking for your apartment a month in advance. Not 5 months in advance, not 10 months in advance, not a year in advance, a month in advance, okay? So if it's the 1st of November, go ahead and start looking at a place that you can move into on the 1st of December, okay? Because I'm telling you, looking further than that ahead of time won't do you any good. It just won't do you any good because so many things can change between now and then. Somebody can move in, they can take the posting down because the landlord decided to do something else with it. Like, so many different things can happen between now and when you actually want to move in. So don't look too early, okay? Do not look too early. Look a month in advance because that way people are already posting up ads for a month in advance anyway because they need somebody to move in for the next month because more than likely, their tenant is giving them a 30-day notice, or they know that, okay, in 30 days, I've got to find somebody else to replace this tenant. So just save yourself the anxiety, save yourself the stress, and just look for an apartment a month in advance, okay? Those are the only two tools you need to be successful, okay? So I will say that, and I will end this video here. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll be more than glad to answer your questions, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.